Ghost of the Void. Definitely an interesting title here, but we'll have to see what that translates to. And we'll start here with the IMDb plot. Spending the night in her car, a newly homeless woman wrestles with exhaustion, her crumbling marriage, and the threat of mysterious masked strangers. All right. Yeah, so let's see. Saw this one via Popcorn Fright, so thank you for them letting me watch this film. Also let you guys note that this film won scariest feature at the festival, so there's something for you guys to look forward to. And if I'm not mistaken, the Horror Collective also scooped this one up, so I would imagine it will be coming soon for you guys to check out. So with all that said, I'll try to give it a fair review and a spoiler-free review as possible. And I'm going to try to really be spoiler-free here to save what kind of happens, what's going to happen in this one. And to be fair, I might not even be able to explain everything here, but I will explain why in a moment. So yeah, interestingly enough, here IMDb says a woman, but as far as I know, there was also her husband, boyfriend, also in this vehicle as well. But obviously, she is the center of the story and where the story begins and ends. But yeah, they are homeless, and definitely in probably the first half of the movie at least. It is done in a way that almost, kind of, they say some weird things and kind of makes me think that maybe this is in a different time, era, place. But it's not. It's just the way they're kind of being mysterious about it. But the couple is definitely homeless now, and they're going to go through the reasons. You will find out. This is one of those films that kind of flashes back. Or kind of goes into the thoughts of mostly the woman here. And so you're going to, as you see where they are in the present, you're also going to see kind of how they got there. And both of them kind of have a little bit of issues here, and you're going to see some of those issues as the film, both in the present and when they flash back, their issues. And when they do that, when they flash back, you'll see, why kind of they are where they are, at least mentally also here, because that's also going to play a role in it, where they are mentally, not just physically here. So yeah, the first half of the film is going to be a lot of painting of that, where they are, they're in the car, what do they do, are they going to move, are they not going to move, what is their plan. They are newly homeless, so they're kind of just adapting to that. I think they're going to do a little bit of trying to get the audience to feel sorry for them, sorry for their situation. Then as they start to do more and more of the flashbacks, maybe you will feel sorry for one, both, maybe neither. You're going to kind of feel where you are with the couple and maybe whose fault it is that they're in the situation that is. So you're going to have a lot of that going on. And then, as I said that, you're going to probably wonder, well, then why in the hell is this the scariest feature at this festival? Let's just say that's the other element of this. And let's see, it is listed as drama, horror, thriller, and I would agree with all that. They are parked basically in a wooded area near a park, or a big foresty area. As they're in this car, it is nighttime. Most of the movie in the present is going to be at nighttime while they're in this car. The flashbacks will be here and there. It won't necessarily be in the car. But here they're homeless and they're in their car. They at least still have their car, and in their car they have most of their possessions in the trunk, in the back seat, and so forth, as you'd imagine, what they could take with them. And So since they're parked in this dark place by this wooded area, um, there's going to be some mysterious things happening, and they're going to maybe think that somebody is tapping on the door or messing with the car when they're not paying attention. There's going to be a moment where a boot is going to be put on the car, so they can't move the car. So now they can't leave. So they're kind of almost trapped there because there's some discussion about where they're going to go next, here, there. What are they going to do? Now they can't move because the boot is on the car. There's a car that pulls up behind them and then leaves. So as you're kind of getting this introduction to the couple and so forth, you're also getting that kind of sprinkled in of are they parked in the wrong place? What goes on where they are, and so forth. I think one of the reasons they kind of, and I'll kind of try to be as spoiler free as possible moving on. I don't want to get too much into it, but one of the reasons why it's the scariest thing is just kind of the suspense and tension that's kind of drawn because of the situation that they're in. They are super stressed, as you can imagine, and then you're kind of seeing these flashbacks and you're seeing them be stressed in even those situations, and maybe it's some situations that some of you guys can relate to, marriage issue, bill issues, life issues, career issues and stuff like that. So that even when they're flashing back, there's some tension. And when they're coming in the car, it's dark, you don't know what's going on. We kind of seen elements of that, and obviously lots of horror movies, and situations where as the audience, something is out there, and something bad is going to most likely happen to this couple, but you're not really sure what it is yet. Like I said, it is dark, it is suspenseful, there's high tension between the couple, and there's high tension between not knowing what's out there. And eventually, it comes to the fact where the husband, boyfriend, whatever, he wants to go out and confront whatever's out there. And, he's, wants to be the protector, or wants to be, the loose cannon. So he's going to go, roaming out into this dark forest and see, what is going on here. Then leaving the woman behind in the car, and you're going to find that maybe she's in a little bit more unstable mentally than maybe he is. He's got other issues, and she's got issues. So those issues don't help them in the situation at all. And then, kind of as it's said there in the IMDb plot, there are some masked strangers out there. What role? What is their purpose? What is going on? Are they really there? Or are they really not? All for you guys to see. I don't want to get into too far into that and spoil anything for you. I will say that another reason it was the scariest film is they do a pretty good job with the mask and what these masked strangers are doing out there and what they eventually do, and there's just a level of creepiness to them because of their mask, and so definitely. But I think it is really just drumming up really good suspense and really good tension within the couple, within the situation. It is dark and everything like that. There's a homeless guy that's also in the area, and you're wondering, what his role in it. Is he one of the strangers? Is he not? Is he going to be a victim of the strangers? What is he doing? There's some concern that why is he out there early on? And then I think, again, I don't want to be spoiler free. I think, when it ends very interesting. Obviously the movie's also making a statement here. There's a lot to really unpack with this movie, which is really good. So if you like a movie that it has its horror elements, but also might be relatable to some, like I said, on multiple different standpoints here. If you've had hard time paying your bills, if you had hard time with career decisions, if you had relationship issues, There's a lot of different things that you might relate to in this movie, relate to with the couple. Like I said, even I think that the guy has a little bit of a drinking issue. The woman has maybe some mental health issues. I'm not going to say specifically what she has, but I think she suffers a little bit from that. So when you put everything together, and then the film kind of shows you where they are, and then when you see the final scene, it kind of almost shows you the opposite. Once the film kind of concludes, you see what's going to happen to the couple, and you kind of get that chance to exhale. The film then just shows you the other side of things, and it's I don't know. You want to call it a slap in the face? I don't want to say what they show you, because then that kind of spoils it. But it's the other side, and it's almost like a slap in the face to everything that they are opposite of they are, and you kind of, I guess what you're going to see is it is the next morning, and you're going to see where they are, and see it's a new day, but a new day for other people, and other people in a different situation. And you've seen what the horrors that they just go through, and then you see the other side of it. So, as the film exhales on the way out, you kind of see the other side of it too. So, interesting what they did there. They could have done it in a lot of different ways. They could have done it in a little bit more typical horror fashion, but definitely an interesting way they leave the film. But I think it is definitely going to ramp up the suspense and tension as it goes, and then give you a big exhale at the end. And then if you kind of, after you watch the film, you kind of take a step back and you think, like I said, if any of this is relatable to you, then kind of really kind of think about it and think about their situation. So a lot of true horror in this movie, and then a lot of things that might be horror related in the real world. Obviously, ending up homeless is a horror for a lot of people, and that's kind of their situation here too. So you get both ends of it there, but certainly a well done movie here. Like I said, shot basically in this one area, at least the scarier horror elements of it. And then you have obviously the flashbacks, which don't take you to too many other places, mostly their home where they were, and them in times that seemed like they were better, but maybe not. Kind of just, on the road of when good things kind of started, but then kind of you see them kind of go downhill to where they are now. So yeah, I don't want to get too far into what eventually happens to them, and then save that for you guys to watch. But definitely worth watching. Definitely a good film. Like I said, it has been taken up, so it should be coming soon. And I definitely hope you guys will check this one out when it eventually drops, and hopefully usually get press releases from the Horror Collective. So hopefully I'll have news that promote horror once this one decides on a release date. Hopefully, if not, if I come across it, I will definitely try to share both the review around the release time, and definitely the information as it comes down the line. So with that, I'm going to give this one 3.5 pools of blood. I'll be honest, as it kind of started, and as it kind of was just a lot of just them going back and forth and kind of their distress or their situation, I wasn't really sure that I was going to like the film. Early on, I was like, with where they started going and doing, I'm like, am I really, I don't know. This is leaning towards one that I don't typically like or might not like, but it definitely got me by the end. So yeah, that's why I give it 3.5 pools of blood, and that is out of 5. And so horrorreviews.blogspot.com down below. That's where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. Lots of video ones recently. So please subscribe, like, and do all those things that everybody wants you to do. If not, no worries. But if you do, don't forget to check out the short section, trying to give you guys some entertainment there, and give you a mix of entertainment and filling you in on some news along the way. If you're not catching everything over at Promote Horror, some of that is coming from Promote Horror, courtesy of. So with that, Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. If you want to reach out to me, talk about other horror movies, this one when it eventually drops, and obviously in the comments section, if you guys eventually get to see this one, how relatable was it to you, as far as some of their struggles and so forth. And definitely if you enjoyed it, or you agree that it had any level of scariness to it. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.